On this week's Celts in the Caribbean, we're going to be talking about
A mafia fugitive cooking show that gets busted.
sexy cows,
A mystery croissant tree beast.
sexy Florida man,
An employee skipping work for 15 years and still getting paid.
and some incredibly sexy non-fungible tokens. All this and more on this week's Celts in the Caribbean. Enjoy.
Welcome to Celts in the Caribbean. I'm Yunan, and across from me is...
It's Alan.
Welcome, everyone.
I'm so happy I could cry.
Yeah, it's been, what, a month? 6 weeks? 2 months? I don't fucking know anymore.
Over 2 months. I just had to check it. February the 16th was the last episode. We're recording today on April the 24th. We've had a wee bit of we didn't have a falling out, don't worry.
Yeah.
A little bit of a cheeky little curfew so we couldn't
we couldn't get together, and we were so technically inept that we really couldn't do this through the medium of internet, so we had to be together again.
I've been doing little ones in the bathroom. Just where, I've
doing a little one in the bathroom.
When you just read a story where it's like, oh, this would be perfect for Celt. So I just start talking to myself and making little jokes and just having a good time.
Just laughing.
Yeah, just having a great time. Stuck in the bathroom.
Honey, who are you talking to?
Nothing, darling. It's fine. We're trying something new this week. So we are recording this with video.
We are.
Hey,
hello, video.
If you're, we do have a YouTube channel anyway, but you can check in on that. So we'll see if we feel comfortable by the end of it and what kind of state we're in.
To be honest, I think I've already forgotten about it like 3 times.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
I'm gonna be on. I'm a little overwhelmed about this episode because it has been over 2 months, and I've written down everything that I want to talk about for the last 2 months. Plus, last time we were on, we promised everybody about the Pornhub episode.
I can't remember any promises. I don't normally drink whiskey, so my memory may be a little vague on that last one.
We did have a few comments about the quality of our speech.
I'm sure there were.
I know, so we do the intros to this after we've recorded and then sort of edited and stuff, and after we've had a couple of drinks. So our intro for our last episode was barely legible. It was just nonsense. It was like the worst one that we've done. But this is going to be a cracking episode.
Onwards and upwards.
Go
for it. Pop your cherry.
Well, I want to kind of talk about a couple of things. And then I've got so many amazing stories. I want to run through a few headlines, like maybe a dozen. You're going to pick your favorites. You'll do a headline, and then we'll come back.
Okay. All right.
We'll
that's how it's structured.
That's how this is going to go.
Okay, go for it.
So I've got some recent ones as well. So we've got...
and just before you start, I'm sorry, but the 12 of them, any of it's kind of like magic trick. If I choose any of the 12, you will know what the story is about.
I'm not promising. I'm saying like you do your story. We'll jump back. I'll have a quick read while...
Okay.
And then we'll figure stuff out. Okay, so I've got stuff like, let's Valentine's Day. I've got one here where... So you can... They had a Valentine's Day promotion back in February where there was a cat shelter that you sponsor a cat. They'll put your loved one's name, or I think it's an X, and the cat will take a shit.
And they write that on the cat
for $10.
Or
I think that we've probably covered that one. We've missed stuff like Florida Man is always taking it to the next level and always like a favorite of the show.
Guy.
We've got a Florida man who has tattooed the state of Florida onto his face.
including
I'm not
the
going to tell
islands.
you what he did, but so that's an option. So we've got a gentleman. Is he going over and above the usual Florida man? We've got an overtly sexual cow who has been blocked on Facebook.
Oh, are we talking about like English going, oh, you're nothing but a cow?
You don't get to find out unless you choose this as one of your top headlines, and then we'll come back. And
I'm assuming it's a dairy cow then.
They are the sexiest of all cows. Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
Frisians are up there, but yeah, I get it.
I mean, the Highland cow, I wouldn't class it as a sexy cow.
It's more of a COVID cow. Hadn't been shaved in a while, but go on ahead.
We've got, I think we saw the Texas lawyer who put the cat filter on and couldn't get it. Remember that guy? He was awesome. And we've got him. We've got a man who had not drunk, just avoiding potholes sticker on his car has been arrested for
drunk driving.
We've got an 8-year-old who has called out NPR for a lack of dinosaur stories. I can relate to that. I mean, I'm just overwhelmed with the amount of amazing headlines.
Hit me up with the sexy cow.
Sexy cow. And how about there's probably headlines enough here, but there was a Ukrainian man invents a murder in order to get the police to clear the snow from his road. That's pretty good as well. Just phoning it in so they'd have to I think there's a dead body
underneath all this snow. I don't know where it is. It's in a 500-meter stretch.
Okay, so we're going for sexy cow. So we'll circle back around to that. Strange choice, but not completely surprised.
Well, you were the one with the story, so strange on you, Alan.
And before I hand it over to you, one of the big things that's happened in the last couple of months that's been talked about a lot in the financial circles, and I'm on the pulse of that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of NFTs?
I do know what NFTs are, yeah.
The non-fungible tokens. All right, I've got a little bit of story and some news on the old Celts in the Caribbean to surprise you with later, so you can look.
Someone has bought our back catalog. Bingo!
All right, so stay tuned for sexy cows and NFTs.
Oh wow, yeah, you're just throwing it right at me. Have you seen the mafia fugitive who was caught by posting a YouTube or multiple YouTube cookery classes?
I think it's so. If you've not listened to the show before, we don't know the stories that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And because we've been in curfew for the last 2 months, and I've literally
had nothing else to do,
it's going to be. I did see this one.
I have read this.
Yes,
and I know. Yeah, I've been in contact with him.
I've completed the entire internet in the last 2 months. So, but this is an amazing story.
It's a good story, but I haven't seen any follow-up stories that elaborated on it. But so this guy, Mark Biard, was 53-year-old, was caught in Italy somewhere while he was supposedly on, there was a warrant out for his arrest for 7 years. So the warrant was out for drug trafficking to the Netherlands with coke, and he just went off the radar and started living a quiet life in Italy somewhere. But I think then boredom got the better of him, and he started producing a small cookery show on YouTube. And then he was only caught by his body tattoos because he covered his face for all the episodes. And then the Europol or whatever found him through recognizable tattoos on his body that was seen.
I can't remember how that works. So was that, does Europol have some kind of software that is scanning photos and videos with okay, we're scanning tattoos and they get, is it a face match, or was it just somebody on Europol that fucking loves cookies? Oh shit, that guy.
Just someone on Europol oh my god, I had the best lasagna recipe. You got to check this out. And someone was like, that guy's the fugitive we've been looking for.
Oh.
No, it doesn't go into depth on it. And it just goes more into depth on
Does it not go into depth in it? Or did you just not read?
No, it does. I did. Yeah, I read it twice just to be sure. But it goes into more so along the lines of the family cartel that he's involved with, as opposed to this ridiculous story about someone getting caught online for posting cooking videos. So, yeah,
he's
I would like to see
he's going to have to make up a story when he gets to jail, like how he got caught. So, I've been on the run for 7 years. You can't say, and then I got caught because I was doing YouTube cooking videos.
Yeah, I was making cannelloni. Oh, God damn it.
He's just going to have to recreate the scene from Bonnie and Clyde, not Bonnie and Clyde, the Sundance Kid, like at the end where there's
Butch Cassidy
and the Sundance Kid, when there's the cops and then there's the army and then they both jump out of at the end and it fades to black.
I love it.
Yeah,
but they totally
tell that story, not the cookies on.
But they
on
totally
YouTube
survived
story.
that. Just so it's for.
I hope so.
Clear.
I hope so.
Of course they did.
All right. One thing I've been doing in curfew is
making maple syrup.
It's Celts in the Caribbean homebrew round 2. It does say number 1 on here because I wrote it in permanent marker and I've just reused the bottle. This one's even better than the last one. This one,
this one doesn't give you a hangover.
Well, it doesn't. If you listen to the episode where we did the first lot, we actually were physically unable to speak.
It was so good.
It was good because it was so delicious. But this one,
that's a fine head you're putting on that one.
Oh wait, hang on. So the ones I put in the bottle definitely. Oh, this one's. Oh, if you're watching on YouTube, there's absolutely zero carbonation. The ones I bottled properly, they were great, and I got like a really healthy, nice head on them. This one, not so much.
Oh
no, is this?
I loved your last one. You were like, the last one was difficult to drink. No, the last one was really tasty. This is about
I mean the last one was tasty, but it was physically difficult to drink. Like it coated your mouth and then your throat.
Yeah, it was it was molasses in a glass.
Yeah, I've never been attacked by the thing from Aliens, but I imagine like drinking my last one was kind of what it was like.
The liquid form of it.
This is not as good as when I like the stuff that I've got in the bottles. I'll give you one in the bottle. I need to.
It's not bad.
Myself. It's not bad.
No, the first taste I found it better.
Yeah, something's happened because I put it in a maple syrup.
No, the first taste was better. No, it's all right.
All right,
it's smooth.
Whatever. Okay, so we did promise Pornhub because our most listened to video ever, or most listened to podcast ever was our Pornhub episode.
Our most watched video ever was on Pornhub.
Yeah. Celts in the Caribbean do Dallas. But they didn't release 2020 statistics version. So I did actually email them about 6 weeks ago. Like I set up a media.
Hey, Greg, account. It's me again. It's not about my account this time.
I'm your biggest fan. So I set up a Celts in the Caribbean media center thing and sent them an email. They have not got it. So that's just where we're up on that. But we will do one on, I think, what were we going to do? It was Mario Kart, I think. They had like stats out for the 35th anniversary of Mario Kart and what people were watching on Pornhub. But anyway.
Yeah, well.
Devastated. I'd imagine they didn't write back. Not because I sent it from our Celts in the Caribbean at Outlook.com account, but probably just their keyboards are so sticky that they are.
You sure it wasn't your subject title?
No. It's like, sup guys. I was nice. I was like a full compliment.
Love your shows, guys.
So
have you seen The Mystery Tree Beast in Poland?
I have.
Oh
I've
my
seen
God.
Everything.
You have been
I've seen everything.
Yeah, you've been a little too unoccupied. I can't get anything past you. So this was a story that came out of Poland. It's pretty crazy. Mystery Tree Beast turns out to be a croissant. Exactly.
I'm being overly animated because it's on video. Like, I don't usually go around.
Yeah, so a lady thought it was some sort of a lizard in a tree outside her apartment, and she couldn't get close enough to see it. And she contacted authorities, and it was like the Wildlife Trust or whatever. And they were like, is it a bird of prey? And she's like, no, it's a lagoon or an iguana. And when they came out to get it, turned out it was like a 5-day-old croissant.
So it'd been there for 5 days. How did they know it was 5-day-old croissant?
Carbon dating.
Ah.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. The amount of days, I have no idea. It could have been 2 days, 5 days, 10 days.
Looking at the photo, it did look like one of those kind of like those online photos that just mess with your head a little bit. Where you're like, oh, I don't know what that is.
I don't know, man. I looked at it, I'm like, that's a fucking croissant. How did you not know it's a fucking croissant? Do you not have them? Anyway.
No. Anyway.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're breaking the 1.5 meter. I heard on the old coconut grapevine that the curfew was, I didn't drink. 7 years.
Bad luck for that shit.
7 years bad sex, I think. Not bad luck. But
well, anything.
I heard on the coconut whispers.
It's only up for you.
The curfew was cancelled specifically because the governor loves this show so much, and he was missing it, and he because we're Bon Air's #1 podcast, that tourism had just collapsed. Not because of, but because
word on the street, yeah.
Yeah.
It's I've heard it from a few reliable
coconut whisperers, or they're not always, they're steep. They're usually steeped in truth, but just like.
Yep, Mr. Rhino was just jonesing for another episode.
Right, I've got the choice. We'll keep the sexy cat for later. I've got the choice of 2 stories for you. I'm going to do something really up to date from yesterday, or really old from the 1800s from a new section.
What's your section? What?
I think I thought of a name, then I had a few beers and I've forgotten the name. But it's maybe if I just mouth it and then I can edit.
Okay, do the modern day one and think of your name.
Okay, the reason why, because we're off air for 2 months, we've got 30 plus episodes. I want people to not think that we are current news. We try to keep it current, but you can watch this listen to this at any time and still get a lot of enjoyment from it. That's why I want to do news from the 1800s.
We are the Postman Pat of podcasts.
That was a very specific.
So relevant. You can always watch it.
Yeah,
you can always watch it.
Okay, have you heard of the Razzies?
I have.
Okay, so the Razzies, for those of you who don't know, is the polar opposite of the Oscars. So the Oscars are, I think, this weekend or next week, and they celebrate the greatest and best of Hollywood. The Razzies,
don't know if it's this weekend. No, it would be tonight if it was this weekend, right?
Tonight? No, doesn't matter. The Razzies, they go the opposite way. They celebrate the worst and the shittiest movies and actors of the year. So that happened last night. So the Razzie votes are in, and so worst actor and worst picture came from last night. That was absolute proof. I've not seen that, but I think it's a like kind of a movie on the U.S. election. So that's made worst picture. But the one that made me laugh a little bit was the worst on-screen combo was one from the film Borat, the subsequent movie film.
Yeah.
And the winners were Rudy Giuliani and his pants zipper.
That is too good.
The worst on-screen combo. There was a special governor's award this year, and 2020 won that award as the worst calendar year ever. So congratulations.
Rightfully so, 2020. Well done.
Worst remake went to Dr. Dolittle. So
no,
that was picked up by
Coming to America 2, wasn't it?
No, but
I could watch Dr. Dolittle. I couldn't watch.
No, that didn't make it in. But Eddie Murphy did get a special mention, which I'll get onto later on. And then the worst director. Have you heard of Sia?
Yeah.
So it's I think it's an Australian singer, who wrote Titanium.
Yeah.
She won. She's putting she's turned her cap to director, and subsequently won the worst director in the world award. So she tried.
Really?
Yeah, made a film called Music.
Yeah, I know of the movie, but I had also read about it in relation to the Oscars, because they were talking about, well, all he had said was Sia missed out at this round, and that was kind of what they had said. But I was like, oh, she must have made a really good movie, but it was dog shit.
Not according to the Raza. She went, like, it's her debut movie. She's gone for an autistic musical.
Yeah, because she herself is autistic. I think. She has.
We'll she
has but she has
saying,
issues. She doesn't want to be seen in public, so she always has like her hair in front of her face, or she stands with her back to the crowd and stuff like that. So it's
okay. Well, they're saying it's an incredibly insensitive movie, and there's parts where the autistic singer gets chained up or like restrained. In a very antiquated way, and she's said she's going to remove that part from the movie and sees the errors.
Oh, no shit!
Kate Hudson won the worst actress award for it, so it does.
Glenn Close was up for a Razzie for her performance in Hillbilly Elegy for this.
Never heard of Hillbilly Elegy.
No, it's up for an Oscar this year.
Oh, right. So it's a new film.
Yeah. So she's up for an Oscar for her performance in Hillbilly Elegy, but she's also up for a Razzie in Hillbilly Elegy.
I think that really just compounds 2020 as a whole.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like the polar opposites of everything this year.
Completely, right? I mean, because she was, in my opinion, she was phenomenal. But
Oh, did you see the film already?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix already.
I did watch Kong versus Godzilla.
It's kind of like that without the monsters.
I thought it would be pretty similar, so that's why I was bringing it up. But Eddie Murphy does get a special mention.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about how Eddie Murphy used to be just smash out the films. Yeah. I mean, we're not even talking one a year. We're talking like his films. He is playing every actor in the film in quite a few of his films.
Yeah.
And the last few years we've had
Boomerang, Coming to America, Naughty Professor,
Dolomite, but it's been like every 3 or 4 years he's put out a film. Like he's not as prolific, and he's put it down to because he was given the worst actor ever. He was given the Razzie Special Worst Actor Ever award. So, and this is why he's not being as active.
I put it down to Pluto Nash. It was up until like 2 years ago, I think 2 years ago, that it was like the biggest flop in history. It was like 135 million production value, and it made like 10 million in the box office or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't see that. So,
likewise, it looks shite.
Yeah, he says I'm not acting because they keep giving me Razzies. Maybe it's time to take a break. And so they asked that the co-founder of Razzies, John Wilson, about this to like see if he felt bad or anything, and he's just like, nope. Just think of all the movies we've saved you from.
Well, you didn't fucking save me from Coming to America too, because that was absolute dog shit.
It was the 40th anniversary of the Razzies this year.
Cool.
And Cats is still up there as well. And Showgirls had an honorable mention.
What a great movie. But do they do you ever watch it, or do they have much of a following online? Like, do people watch the Razzies now?
Oh, like they watch the Oscars?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I have sat down in a pub and gone to Oscar, like, kind of parties.
Likewise, I've gone to Oscar parties. I just wondered, like, did Razzies have...
I feel like they do, but...
It's the weekend before, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the Oscars must be next week then.
And they don't have a specific host for this one either, do they? Is it one of the ones where they're like have a rolling host because there's a controversy of...
They don't have a host, but they have a producer, and the producer is like Oh, fucking hell. Sorry. This is what Google is for. It's ridiculous. It is Steven Soderbergh.
He sounds familiar.
Steven
Is he an
Soderbergh.
actor as well?
No, Steven Soderbergh done like a couple of war movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way. Right. What else are we talking about, Matt?
Down the rabbit hole. Did you see the story that a couple of rabbits on an island off of Wales came across artifacts that dated back to 9,000 years? So they built their burrow, or they dug their burrow in an area where there was artifacts, and when they dug, they pushed all the dirt out. And
how does a rabbit dig?
It's kind of like this. And and the island didn't have any human occupants, so the first people to be kind of back on the island was like after COVID or during COVID, but it's quite recently, and they found like beveled stones at the base of this hole. So they're like, oh wow, these look like tools. And so then
the rabbits are thinking this?
No, the people who just came on the island again. And they found these stones, and they look like, oh my God, they look like someone has actually shaped the stones into something, and they're just sitting in front of the rabbit's burrow. So they dug it, and they found like burial artifacts from up to 9,000 years old.
The rabbits must have been pissed.
Yeah.
So they like... It's like,
exactly.
I just made my living room.
This.
I had this beautiful 8,000-year-old artifact in my living room. The neighbors were super jealous, and then some dickhead comes along, digs up my burrow and my warren, and now I've got nothing.
It was on an island called Skulkholm Island. Skulkholm.
Where's that?
Off the coast of Wales.
All right.
And yeah, they found like a funerary urn, tools for making seal hide clothes, and boats.
Did they find any of the rabbits wearing seal hide clothes? And they'd gone on and learned how to use these tools?
No. They only found them using the tools. When they dug it up, there was like a little fucker in there like sewing something. It was just...
that could have been amazing. I hadn't heard that story. I did see the world's largest rabbit got nicked from an English garden.
Yeah, I didn't read it though.
That was my only...
What happened to him?
He got stolen, and it was just an appeal. I think there's if you find the world's largest rabbit, there's a $1,000 reward if you return it. Found it.
Using a synonym to describe nicked doesn't mean that you're actually describing the story. I'm just saying. What happened to him? He was nicked. But what happened to him? He was stolen.
Just interpreting. Okay. Let's jump over to NFTs for a little bit. Non-fungible tokens. Okay, don't worry, everyone. We're not about to turn into a financial podcast, but just as a very quick summary, as base as it can be. I don't fully understand why somebody paid $57 million for a non-fungible token.
Yeah, what was it?
It was essentially a photo. So a picture, but made up of like 5,000 other pictures.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay,
so a billionaire
57 million. Holy fuck! I didn't know that was what it went for.
And it became really popular for a few weeks, and I kind of looked into it a little bit, and best I can describe it as is like playing baseball cards or something like that, because you don't own the copyright.
No,
you don't own. You can't I can't buy an NFT of this painting and then reproduce the painting and sell it. So
it's a bullshit investment. It's crazy, stupid.
It's a collection. So you're collecting. You're the only person that owns that. Non-fungible essentially means one and only. So you can make was Mark Cuban started to make like kind of baseball card style ones where you like, is it not baseball? Is he basketball or baseball?
Mark Cuban, he's just an investor, but he has he has a basketball team, the Nuggets or something.
So he's been making them of like the best dunks, and then you can buy the best dunk and you own that dunk. But
so they sold the dunk from LeBron. It was like $220,000. Listen, you're all going to fact check this, and it's probably not LeBron. It was someone else, but I think it was LeBron, and it was like $220,000. But the point that I'm going to make is it's a fucking viral video, so everyone can see it. So that brings you back to like, so you own the video, and this is the first of the video, but you don't own the ownership of that video.
Yeah, it's complex. I mean, I've heard the baseball card analogy. I've also heard the Mona Lisa. So, but even then, that doesn't make sense because if you own you're not really owning something physical, but you're owning the digital original version of the Mona Lisa. But everybody's allowed to see it. You can copy it, and you can sell.
But if you own the Mona Lisa, right? It's a tangible asset that you hold. People can copy it and sell it. Mm-hmm. But this is like a dunk that you have the first of, but you don't own the original copy. You own a certificate to say that you have like the first copy, but it's all over the internet.
Yeah, if I'm on ESPN and I show the dunk, I don't owe you any money.
Yeah, precisely. So you don't make any money off of it, but
if you make the original NFT and then it gets sold, you get a royalty.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't want to get into this too much.
No, but what it might do is now create a market where people sell original copy immediately, and then it's worth more money, and then they own it. But now it's just like this figment of nonsense.
So what I've done is created an NFT.
Oh my God. You're a fucking clown.
You want to see it?
Yes, I
see that on YouTube?
Yes, okay, I love it.
So I have turned our logo into an NFT. Yep. This is legitimate. Okay, you want to read how much I've put it up for sale for?
$507.90.
Okay, I think it's 90 cents. So
was that supposed to be a comma or a full stop?
Well, what it is, it's in Ethereum, so it's changing all the time.
Yeah.
So it was $500 and it's changing. But you don't get the copyright because you had the option of putting the copyright on it. But if you want to buy it for $500, an NFT, go right ahead. I'm the current owner, but it took a bit of work because I had to set up like Ethereum wallets and all this kind of thing. Because there's this like mad. It's not a difficult process, but it just took a little bit of learning to actually do it. So I turned this into an NFT, but there's also no copyright in case somebody did get drunk and buy it.
Yeah.
Then we don't have to go back and change all our logos and stuff. I made two others. So I made my head.
Oh yeah.
into an NFT.
This is gonna be terrible.
What's the value of my head?
$205.75. I know mine's gonna be like $10 or something. $5, you bastard.
And I turned Unan's head into an NFT. And what did I put yours up for? Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
It's $1.69. It's totally worth it. If anyone out there wants to buy an NFT of my head,
I wanted to.
We will make not even the price of a beer out of that.
I wanted to make it 69 cents, but 99 cents is the minimum.
You're a piece of shit.
So if you want to own Unan's head, you just need to. I'll post it in our Facebook, but you can go on and for the pricely sum of $1.69, you can be the owner, or not the copyright owner, but
yeah, exactly. You can be not the owner. Well, not even the copyright owner. You could just pay money for this picture.
I don't that's
what the tagline should be.
For the change that you have in your back pocket, avatar of Unan, one of one, the only one in the world, $1.69.
that's so
you
good.
You can get me for currently $205.75. Actually, this is a screenshot because it kept changing because of the Ethereum prices all over the place.
Look at this fucking counterfeiter already. He's like, I'll sell it to you. It's just a screenshot, but just as good as the original.
So that's what I've been doing, and
that is brilliant. Thank you, Alan.
I need that. I don't know why I'm putting it over there.
Thank you, Alan. That was quite fun to see that.
We could, if nobody buys it, what we could do is
just hold on to it. It might be worth something in a couple of years.
Yeah, we could do a Patreon giveaway where we just
give our faces.
Give our faces away. So that'd be a total value. Like we have 2 winners.
I was going to show you
one winner,
but I was up
somebody
to.
Gets your head.
And that is I just put our faces on underwear. So if you wanted to
really?
No, but now I'm going to do that, and Alan's is going to be cheap as shit.
That would be the best prize ever.
Yeah, exactly right.
An NFT, and would we package them together, or would you get like an NFT of me and then the underwear of you, and then the opposite for the other prize?
Don't know, but Alan's package comes with stuffed with oranges. Did you see the lady in India who sued Prince Harry?
Oh no! You got me on this one. I didn't see this one.
This is a legit story and totally batshit crazy, but this poor lady in Punjab, in India.
I keep moving the webcam. Hang on.
This poor lady in Punjab in India was tricked into thinking that Prince Harry was talking to her online. So she was catfished. And
do we know what social media platform this was?
I think it was MySpace. I don't fucking know. No, but what it said
was wasn't email. It was like some kind of messenger.
It was messenger of some sorts. And Prince Harry had promised to marry her.
Right. See, that would be a red flag from me. If
likewise.
Prince Harry or Meghan sent me a marriage proposal.
Likewise, right? So,
I mean, up until now.
So for her, she didn't really give a shit about that because, she went to the authorities and I think they laughed her out of it. But she filed a lawsuit, a genuine lawsuit, and
against Prince Harry.
Against Prince Harry, because he had promised to marry her, and it was then he was calling it off or whatever. So she took it to court. It actually went to a judge.
How did it get that?
I don't know how this stuff does it, but
did they have to prove it wasn't Prince Harry then in order for
I didn't get that far. When I went to court, the judge was immediately he threw it out immediately and called it a daydreamer's fantasy and just quashed the case. But
I wonder how much that cost her.
Yeah, exactly.
To take it that far, or
that's kind of why I find it interesting. Why? Because to go to court, it actually takes a bit of effort. You have to file a bit, you have to talk to a lawyer. It's a back and forth. You're going to have to pay the lawyer for the time and so.
Do we know if this lady was an influencer and was maybe using it as some kind of media exposure?
Oh, I don't know, but that's a good spin on it. But yeah. I thought it was a pretty interesting
Harry
story.
Did get in touch with me and offer to marry me.
Yeah.
So.
And what did you say? I mean,
I said yes, and I think it's going ahead. But if it doesn't, I might have to take it to court and get it on the international stage. I think it's because I shaved off my beard. He's he's no longer interested.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's a legitimate reason.
Yeah, he's totally into the Bears. Yeah.
Damn it, Harry.
You send him my email address.
All right.
So what else we talking about, man?
So I'm going to do my back in time.
Is that what your segment was called? Because you could have fucking thought of that on the spot.
I forgot to think about it. So
It's called Back in Time. That's what you couldn't remember? Oh my God.
So the headline, they weren't as punny back in the 1800s or the 1900s. This one's from 1929. It's just the headline is "The Cat Telephone."
Okay.
Tell me more. I hear you think. So what does the telephone and the cat have in common? Well, they were both the same thing back in 1929. There was an experiment where a professor from Princeton used an unconscious but alive cat and
Let's just add alive there to that.
alive but unconscious. It didn't say it was alive by the end of the experiment. But he transformed it. So this is Professor Ernest Glenn Weaver. If you want to send him some like hate mail on Facebook or whatever you're
from 1929. I'm pretty sure he's not fucking alive.
So I'd make him.
He would have been like what in his 30s in 1929.
That's 90 odd years.
He's like what 130 now or something.
I mean, I don't know. He looks
pretty good for his age.
30ish in this photo of him doing the experiment. Yeah, I think like I'm outraged by this telephone thing as much as you are, but I think we have to let it fly because he is not.
So what happened
alive.
to Ernest, and what the fuck is this about?
I'd imagine Ernest is not with us, but so he transformed this cat into a working telephone. I will take this moment to remind all our listeners that these are genuine stories. We're not like The Onion, where it's satire or just made up. These are genuine. Everything we do.
I just hope sometimes that some of the stories that I am talking about are not actually something similar to The Onion. That I'm like, you know what?
But sadly, this is real.
Oh God!
So the little operation on the cat's skull, attached the telephone wire, they would speak into the cat's ear, and that would be the receiver, and the person on the other end of the telephone would be able to hear.
What the fuck do you have to use an animal for that?
I mean,
why don't you just use some wire?
Well, there was wire neck. I have no idea why this experiment.
Oh my God, this is so bizarre.
Like, it's actually a really long article. It's not. But I didn't get to the end of the article either way. It's only
no. It would probably bore the tits off me too. But what's his name? Ernest what?
It was Ernest Glenn Weaver. WEV.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was trying to see if the frequency of the response of a sensory nerve is correlated to the intensity of the stimulus. Everybody follow that? Yeah. Okay. Can we
I didn't. Can you break it down for me?
You want me to break it down? So actually, they won awards for this. From their findings through these experiments, Weaver and Bray, so Bray's entering the fold here, were awarded the first Howard Crosby Warren Medal of Society by the Society of Experimental Psychology. That sounds like a mental society.
Yes, sounds like
if you're just setting up a new award and you're thinking, right, this is our inaugural award, we need to make it something good. The guys that try to turn a cat into a telephone. That's who we want to be.
That's who I want.
That's who we want as our bannerman for this award.
As they're like, hey, can you give me that really pointy thing and a hammer so as I can lobotomize this bastard?
Yeah, I mean, this guy was like one of them was legit. Bray, he became the associate professor at Princeton University, became the associate research director of the U.S. Air Force and Human Resource Department. And during World War II, served as the leading scientists of the civilian psychological research. Blah 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 blah.
That period during the war was not really the best for any scientist researching psychological issues.
I think a lot of.
I did.
Well, I think a lot was learned, but in not particularly.
Not in good fashion.
Ways.
Wow.
But I'm not sure if the world is a better or worse place for knowing that we can turn cats into telephones. But he did go on to be on the Research Council for Anti-Submarine Welfare.
Fucking anti-submarine welfare. Sorry, oh my warfare, God, who
warfare. Is? No welfare. We're looking after the welfare. Somebody think of the submarines. Warfare.
What welfare check are you on? Anti-submarine.
I feel like we're almost verging on like drunk history with this.
Oh my God, it's quite funny to me though.
I hope we won't get sued for. I think it's okay. Like,
yeah. You kidding me?
It's current-ish.
This fucker turned a cat into a telephone. I'm pretty sure he cannot sue us. Did you see the employee that is accused of skipping work for 15 years?
Yes. Another great story.
Another great story. I didn't read it until this evening, actually, just before we started. But yeah, I really like it. He was paid 538,000 euros over the course of the years that he just didn't go to work.
It's a great headline, but when you look into it, it's not that it was just sheer incompetence on supervisor. It's more that there was like fraud involved.
There was fraud, yeah, but the fraud is it's quite a high level of fraud involved, but it's so basic how it was done. And that's what I was going to say, is that I also used to work in a hospital as a cleaner, as like a janitor, and it was such a black hole for money. Like, genuinely a black hole for money. Like, so the money came in probably to the cleaning company, and they just gave you, whatever you're supposed to do. But sometimes, like, your cleaning area might have taken 15 minutes, and I would get paid for 5 hours. And this would happen every night of the week. So my area, I was...
I worked in a warehouse like that.
Yeah, so it's a bit
Christmas annuals.
Yeah, a bit fucking ambiguous. Like, no one is really over you, and the people who kind of tell you what to do don't give a shit either. So it's like
the owners think it takes an 8-hour shift to do.
Yeah, precisely. Like, for example, whenever I started it was Wellington General Hospital in New Zealand, I had donkey shifts. I had to do like all the worst cleaning ever, like all the public toilets and all around the hospital, and like get rid of like all the nasty waste, like the contagious waste and stuff like that. So you can
tell me more.
you build yourself up, and so like I done it for like a month or so, and then it was good. And then the ladies, these two lovely old Samoan ladies, were the girls who rostered me in, and they were like my superiors. They were in charge of me, and they took a shine to me and my mate, and they started to give us like steady shifts, and the money was really, really, really good. And for
was this Australia?
New Zealand. And like for backpacking in New Zealand back at the time was like, I think at a point I was getting paid $10 an hour, and then went up to like $12 an hour. I got paid like $16 an hour to like fuck around in this hospital. It was fabulous. And these ladies, they created a shift for me, which was an unopened wing of the hospital and one floor. Literally no one was in that wing for the entire time that I was there, and I had 5 hours to clean it. So you go in,
just recreate 28 days later, where you're like,
yeah, you just go in. It's just like a floor of nothing, and they had every floor was stocked with hot chocolate Milo. So I just like do a bit of vacuuming for like 10 minutes, and I was the only person with the key. So they give you the key on the start of the shift. So if the person came to that, they had to knock on the door to tell me that they were coming in. I just let them knock on the door, and I just sat on the couch and drank hot chocolate and red for 5 hours every evening. And it was fucking glorious for like a month, until like my boss overall was like, Yunan, do you think it, like, I'm just trying to be just trying to be honest here, but like, do you think it should take you 5 hours to clean that area? And I'm like, no, not really.
I think I could do it in 4.5.
Yeah, it actually kind of turned out like that. And I was like, no, not really. And he's like, could you do it in 3? I'm like, I think I could do it in 3. He's like, amazing. Great. And I was back to like my fucking nothing. You know, that was just what the hospital was for me. It was
just save 30%.
At one point, I was in another part of Wellington selling or giving out free ice creams and getting paid for that. While I should have been working at the hospital, and then I arrived back in my ice cream t-shirt and walk into my fucking
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And it's people like you that are killing the NHS.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. It was really good fun. But what I was going to say is this guy, that he gamed the system like in a really good way because, in a really bad way actually, but he threatened the manager and the manager then became afraid of him. And then he just stopped showing up to work. And then the manager retired, but he was still on the payroll. So they changed hands of the management and they never knew him. They never seen him.
Just a name on a spreadsheet.
It was just a name on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And he kept getting paid for about 15 years. Fucking dream job, man.
It's like the guy that was on, I think it was like a programmer who was on $250,000 a year that was like outsourcing his job on Fiverr to somebody for like $5,000 or something, and just like playing video games at home. I think we covered that one.
No, pretty sure we didn't.
Well, covered it. Let's jump back to our sexy cow. What?
All right.
That we talked about earlier.
Move me.
What do you want to know about it, man? So basically, it was somebody who owns a digital photo gallery of wildlife, and Facebook has closed them down because it had overly sexual content. Now, I've been a victim of this because I'm obviously, now you can see us physically, I'm overly sexual.
Yeah, you're just oozing it.
No, but like genuinely, so I do adverts on Facebook.
For his nips.
Not necessarily for Celts in the Caribbean, but I have one advert that's an old grandma. And she's just excited. And I got that. No, that's not what I meant. And that got closed down for being overtly sexual. But let's get back to the cow. Let's ignore.
You were doing adverts on a website for old grandmothers, and it got closed down because it was overtly sexual.
It was just an excited grandmother because she was really happy with the product that she'd been given.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was like, hey, you can be as excited as me
when you see these beastly loins of the Scotsman.
Yeah, something like. I'm for hire as a digital marketer if anybody. Yeah, so this gentleman's come same issues that I've had. He posted a picture of a like not a particularly sexy cow. Like I think this is the cow in question.
Oh my god!
It might just be a stock image of a cow. I'll put it up, and I think we'll all agree. As cows
it's not a sexy
that's,
cow.
That's not even in the top 50% of sexy cows that I've seen.
Totally not.
Yeah. I don't know what else you want from this. That's it.
I don't think... I'll just say for everyone, I don't think I got anything out of that. You just showed me a sexy cow or a not sexy cow and talked about how you got kicked off a granny porn platform for being too sexual.
Yeah. There are some other examples of people getting bumped off Facebook ads for, like, I've got my grandma. This gentleman has his sexy cow. There's a neon sign featuring the word disco because it was promoting alcohol. I don't know where that came from. Set of trampolines. Nope. I can't read that word right now. Been slightly blind from the homebrew. A Hong Kong skyline was rejected on the grounds that there was nothing for sale in the photograph. This is weak. This is all weak. Ripples on a pond.
These are all just words. I don't understand them when you put them together.
Ripples on a pond for selling adult product.
Are you fucking quoting poetry at me?
And this would be great poetry. Poetry. Ripples on a pond for selling adult product.
Oh my God.
Overly sexual photo of a high-rise office building. Sexy cows.
Did you see the fake Conor McGregor that got 3 years in jail?
No, I didn't. Do we know, is his fight on or off? He's like, it went on, and because it was what, Diaz 3 or something.
I saw the last I saw of it was like him smack talking someone else, not even Diaz.
Well, they got in a wee spat on Twitter or something, and then McGregor trolleys out the pram. Trolleys out the pram, is that the term? Toys out the
pram, yeah.
Toys out the pram. The fight's off.
Anyway, 264 is the fight. Yeah,
still on just now.
Yeah, better looks of it.
There was one MMA fight that was called off last week because in the weigh-in somebody got pushed and he strained his neck.
It's Dustin Poirier.
Oh.
What were you saying?
It's your story, mate. 3 years in jail. Colin McGregor, or look like Conor McGregor. We're back to Colin. I do this all the time. If you're a frequent listener of Kelsey McGregor,
you keep calling him Colin McGregor. I love it. I love it.
We need to trademark Colin McGregor and turn him into have a Colin McGregor little like avatar. I'll make an NFT or maybe like some kind of action figure.
Yeah, like a weenie one, like one that's maybe like not built so good.
Maybe like something between us, like where we like combine and become like a transformer when we they all get together, and so me and you combine become Colin McGregor.
Connor or Colin?
Colin, no, Connor's a real person. Colin, we're adopting as our mascot.
Okay. There we go. Colin I got McGregor. You. I'm on the same page. Back to my story about the fake Conor McGregor. He recently just got 3 years in jail for supplying Class A drugs. He was handing out business cards that said McGregor Enterprise. And he was dealing in coke and out of Surrey in the UK. He looks actually remarkably like him. And you know what's quite funny is the first picture that came up is
oh, wait, is that Connor or is this our Colin?
This is the guy that I'm talking about, the fake the guy who got 3 years.
It really does look
it looks like
it
him.
Just looks like he's aged a little bit. He's been on a massive bender and had the shit kicked out.
Exactly. He looks like he's been on a bender or something, but yeah. So yeah, this guy has been jailed for 3 years for supplying Class A drugs. When they arrested him, they found a cleaver beside his bed, as well as boric acid for cutting the coke that he was selling on.
And, I like the adverts you're getting right now. What have you been Googling that you're getting these adverts?
Pug Life.
No. Eunan's adverts on his computer are just T-shirts with massive pictures of dogs.
It's better than like fucking Swedish penis enlargers,
which is on my
So I thought that was a pretty funny one. Yeah, poor bastard got jailed for 3 years, and when the officers arrested him, he also gave the name Conor McGregor.
That's a mistake.
That's a mistake. Dumbass.
Oh wow, at least Colin's still out and about and free. This might shock you, but we are at 59 minutes.
Hit me up with a news story.
You want a cheeky one? I don't know if I've like.
You got one, or should we just slowly fade?
I'm good to do another 4 or 5 solid hours. But like, I don't want to end on the Florida man with a tattoo on his face, because it was actually not a great story. Yeah, we could just finish up there, because that was a good story, and then we're ready to go for next week.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. We've been genuinely excited to be back in your ears. If you are watching on YouTube and we've actually released the live video, you will see I kind of forgot to bring all the bits and pieces, so we have to like use a few zip ties.
We did make this especially for it.
Yeah,
so
we should get that painted in some kind of phallic object. So yeah. Follow us on Facebook. If you enjoy our ramblings, share it far and wide. Tell your friends about it. Go and buy our NFTs for sure.
At least buy mine. I at least won't feel so cheap.
Is this going to make you feel cheaper?
No, at least if someone buys it, it's like, all right, someone thought I was worth $1.69. At least yours, like, no one's ever going to buy you for like $250.
No, that's absolutely true. But you never know.
Yeah, no, I do.
I think
they're never going to do it.
Well, I can give it away, and it has like lots of.
Oh yeah, you can give it away, and that's the value of it. You son of a bitch!
You clearly don't understand.
You clearly don't understand NFTs. We just make things up. All right, guys. Have a good evening, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, and all going well, we will be back on our usual schedule of every now and again. So
yeah, exactly.
All right.
No, every 2 weeks.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Good night.